Okay, we're going to get new video in from Eureka, so this gets as close as possible as we can, and this is what they experienced there.
All right, obviously this is what we've been hearing and what we've been seeing. Again, even from Yuba City, Bill Cantrell sent us in a video from Yuba City where it was shaking like that there, and you could see Eureka, which is much closer to where the action was.
Yeah, and we heard from the man in Modesto who said his pool was, sloshing back and forth, and then we've been getting emails from people. This email about an earthquake felt in Woodland that we're trying to get video from too as well. So the shades were rocking, she said. So yeah, that was in the Woodland area.
And that Eureka video, thanks to Amber for sending that in.
Yeah.
And this was, I believe, Land Park. Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
This is the Park Terrace Swim and Tennis Club, which is just off of Seamus, the Fruit Ridge area, just off I-5 and Seamus, actually. So obviously, it looks like Megan Voss is pointing out where the water came over. And as I mentioned before, this water, it doesn't come to the top of the pool. It's not one of those infinity pools. This water would have to come up several inches to get over into the deck area, which apparently it did. She's pointing out where it was shaking. So it was enough for her to come out of the office and roll video for us. And so it's been an issue in and around Sacramento, Modesto, Stockton.
But think about it like this, too, as we're going to take a look at this video from Lodi. And a very similar story. Think about it like this. If you have a glass of water, it's not filled to the top, and you kind of grab the glass by the bottom and shake it a little, the water is going to move around very easily. It may spill over the top depending on how hard you shake it. But say, I don't know, you've got a sandwich on a plate. The sandwich isn't liquid. Right now it does have several layers to it. And you shake the plate and you're going to see the sandwich move, but it's unlikely the sandwich is going to fall off the plate. It's unlikely that, pieces of that sandwich, maybe the top piece of bread is going to fall off because it's more solid, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about. Whereas the concrete, the earth, the dirt, that's a lot more solid. In order for that to really move in a violent manner, you need a very powerful earthquake, which this indeed was, but because it was so far off the coast, by the time it got somewhere like Lodi, it did not feel as strong. But the water moved so much easier than the surrounding dirt and concrete and whatnot, which is why we see some of these things. Again, example here from Chico.
This is really coming over. I mean, I thank you, Linda, for sending this in. And as we speculated earlier, I mean, Linda looks like she was in the house, and this, whatever's going on in her pool, which is substantial at the time, was likely, I'm guessing 15, 20, 30 seconds after she was like, whoa. And this is coming over the top of her pool.
A 7.0 anywhere close to anywhere is never a good thing, and you are really hoping that it's not as bad as you think. Now, as we're looking at video, pool sloshing out, water sloshing out, that's not damage. As we saw some video from Eureka, we did not see damage just from that one video. We don't know the whole story there, but it's just a reminder that we live in earthquake country. Let's say we take that earthquake, same magnitude, and put it in land or a populated area. The Loma Prieta quake was not as strong as what we just saw, but you can remember all of the destruction and everything that happened. Now, since then, there's been all sorts of earthquake retrofitting, all sorts of programs, all sorts of alerts and awareness. We now get these alerts directly on our phone. In fact, before we can feel the earth shaking, in this case, if you're far away. So we've come a long way, but certainly when these things happen, it can go bad in a hurry. And if we're only seeing lights shaking around, this is what, in a worst case scenario, that could happen. This is much preferable to see. Yeah,
here's some video from Yuba City as well. You can see those lights moving back and forth here. We've seen, those videos of light fixtures moving. We've seen pools sloshing. This is also in Yuba City as well. Another pool video here just kind of showing what's happening there in terms of the pool water moving around in there. And we heard earlier from a gentleman in Modesto who said that he experienced something similar. So it's incredible how widespread too these impacts really are.
And just as an example, like even though these earthquakes happen a fair distance away, I mean they're not really far, but they are fairly it takes some time to drive from here to Eureka. These big earthquakes can travel very quickly across California. If you took the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, and if that were to happen same spot today, that would be like a 4 or 5 here in Sacramento. So we would definitely feel that. There could be some minor damage here. So that just gives you an idea. Is when you get a really strong earthquake, even a ways off the coast, we can definitely feel it, even in the valley.
Okay, this is the shot of Pacifica. Going back to the very beginning, the earliest timetable that we had of this was from the Tsunami Warning Center saying that the initial wave of a tsunami would be in the San Francisco Bay Area by 12:10.
Yeah.
It is now 12:15. Pacifica is south of San Francisco by a little bit, and what we're not seeing is the huge water column lifting up, waves coming over the boardwalk there, anywhere close to the road or anything like that. If you have not been aware or not been checking in since the alert came in on some people's phones, the official tsunami warning has been canceled.
That's right.
So we are not expecting any impacts from this directly, although you saw a lot of indirect impacts with all the video that was shown.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this is not something that, all of a sudden we would now see a tsunami. Like, this
Right.
threat is over. So there's no need to panic, to think about that. That was something that at the time we needed to worry about. But
This is Woodland.
has since
Oh, yeah.
passed.
From Woodland.
Here's the video that we were trying to get from Woodland. Thank you, Sharon, for sending this in. She says, this was my upstairs window, and you can see the shades rocking there. I got the earthquake warning on my phone and felt
okay.
it for several minutes. That's what she said. No serious damage, luckily. But yeah, thank you, Sharon, for sending
And
that in to
a
us.
quick shout out to Sharon. Sharon is a longtime ABC 10 viewer. Met her many times. She's awesome. She sends in weather photos all the time.
Great.
She would go to our coffee meetups. So the fact that she took this video and sent it to us to let us know, hey, this is what happened in Woodland. Sharon, we appreciate you.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And we're glad
Sharon.
you're okay.
That's amazing with the warning system. And she said she felt it for a couple of minutes. And again, another good sell to have the warning system on your phone.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Shake Alert. If you
Yeah.
don't have the Shake
Absolutely.
Alert app, get the Shake Alert app. If you don't have emergency alerts, the WIAs, right, the wireless emergency alerts turned on for your phone, make sure those are turned on. I know they go off at night sometimes and they're annoying and they wake you up. I've been woken up by a Shake Alert.
Yeah.
That was, for Humboldt County and really had no meaning for me here in Sacramento. But it's important, right? Sometimes they matter, and sometimes they are here at home. In the case of the tsunami, if God forbid, we had a large wave move into the Bay Area, that would have gone up
Yes.
the Sacramento River, and we
Absolutely.
could have seen some tsunami influence even somewhere along the Sacramento riverfront. So you got to take it seriously, right? We got lucky this time. There's no major impacts, but that doesn't mean that the next time will be just as lucky.
There's a little meet up there in Pacifica with the three gentlemen walking along there saying, hey, I heard the coast is clear. What do you say we throw the fishing poles back in at the pier? I'm guessing that's probably some type of a discussion that was going on a little bit earlier.
at one.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to mention too is we've been looking at, obviously X, we've been looking at social media, we've been getting, video in from viewers, but knowing where to get your correct information from as well. So obviously California OES, really good information on their X page as well, just updating it, minute by minute about what people need to know.